What's up, Slingshot Audio Garage? I am Johnathan Taylor, and this is another episode of In the Lab podcast. This is number 18, and Ted, my technical guru, he's actually in the background, but Paula is going to stand in. She's a much more lovelier host than Ted, so hopefully he won't black me out right now, and I can continue talking my intro. So anyway, for this episode, we've got Kim and Jeff with Mavericks Custom Motorsports. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it Metrics for some reason. It's some reason that sticks in my head. But
I'll buy that name too.
Yeah, Mavericks Custom Motorsports in Miami, and they're a big supporter of Slingshot Audio Garage. I know they've given speakers in the past to our monthly drawings, and we appreciate that. That's it's all about the members and the community. So that's what we try to do, and that's what we try to promote. So we definitely try to bring on the people that can make that happen. For our group. So how are you guys doing this evening?
Good to see you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, most definitely. So I guess we'll start with my everyday question. Well, let's start with this. How are you doing today, Paula? Let's do that.
I'm great. I'm happy to be with someone that's like not that far away from me.
Yeah, we could have all done this in the same place, Paula.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm sure people are like, oh yeah, you are in Florida, so you are kind of close. Like, no, it's like Texas. Like, you could be in the same state, but it doesn't mean you're like neighbors.
Right, exactly.
Especially with far away.
I think you guys are about like 45 minutes to an hour away.
Yeah, people don't get it. South Florida is rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's with no traffic, and and of course it rains like every day at a certain time in Florida. So
yeah.
That's wild.
It's rainy season officially now too. So
yeah. Well, I guess we'll start with like I said, my question I like to ask everybody is, so how did you guys get started? I guess in the industry, with the motorcycles, baggers. Like, what was the beginning? How did it begin? So if you enlighten us on some of that, how did that work out?
So we're gonna have to figure out who's gonna talk and who's not. That's for the
I know,
I'm
right?
gonna take this one. I'll take this one. I'll let her take the next one. So. We got started, 15, 20 years ago. We were in a motorcycle club. That's kind of how this whole passion for motorcycles started. Her wedding gift to me was actually my first motorcycle, right? That's how all this thing started. After we spent about 10 to 15 years in a motorcycle club, retired out of that, and then we started the thing that's now known as Bikes and Bass. Bikes and Bass became a thing now that's been going on for over 10 years. And in that, the shop was born. And the shop, which being Mavericks Custom Motorsports, became a thing. And now that's been going on for about 7 years as well. So through all of that, our goal has been to really cater towards the community, not just baggers, we start off on sport bikes. We're sport bikers at heart. But so from the sport bike world,
I was faster than him.
She is still faster than me. From the sport bike world to the bagger world to the slingshot world, Can-Ams, jet skis, boats, whatever it is. And that's why we didn't want to name our shop or pigeonhole our shop into just motorcycles. Anything that's a toy, that's a motorsport that we can do something to make you enjoy it more is where we wanted to be at as a shop. So we didn't want to be just one thing. We want to be everything to everybody, if that makes sense. So that
nice.
makes sense.
No, for the most part, we started kind of background of the show. Bikes. It was originally. They say, how did they all get started? Originally, it was Bikes on the Beach. We started off doing a big festival once a year in South Florida. We started in Hollywood, Florida, which was a smaller city. And one of our last shows was we shut down Collins Avenue and did a big show. And we had sport bikes and Can-Ams and Slingshots everywhere, to the point the city was like, guys, we're not too sure about all of this. But it got really big. We had a lot of fun. And then we kind of started expanding the show into Daytona, then to Georgia, and then other locations. and the bikes on the beach part didn't really fit anymore. So we started transitioning the show name to Bikes and Bass, and we brought the sound bullies into the mix because audio became a really big thing circa 2017, 2018 down here, and on the East Coast. So we started doing the audio with sound bullies back in 2018, and it's been going ever since.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. That is.
There we go.
That's perfect.
We can make sure the whole thing. Okay.
So that's cool. That's what it's about. I mean, before you know it, yeah, you get out, you outgrow a city, you outgrow a street, and especially with the introduction with slingshots and Rikers, like you said, Can-Ams, like that's a whole other market besides sport bikes or baggers even. Like they are their own market by itself.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Like that's I guess it's like anything. If you do Jeeps, then like you have shops that do nothing but Jeeps. And you're like, man, I had no idea this was a thing. And it is. And people say it all the time. Like when they'll come by the shop and say, man, y'all got all these slingshots in here. I didn't know so many people had these. Or it's just they don't realize that's a thing. And it's like
Right.
that's all I ever see is slingshots. Like I don't even car. It's like I don't even want to work on a car.
Yeah, no, and that's the wild thing. So with our shop, we have the ability, and we've done over the years. We have a whole auto division as well with our shop. So, like you said, the Jeeps, the trucks, the cool cars. Like I don't want to just do any car, so to speak, but
yeah,
it's how much space those things take up, right? Like you said, a slingshot, man, you get 3 or 4 slingshots in the shop at one time, and hey, your shop is full. Or at least mine is anyway, because I'm in South Florida and real estate's expensive.
Yeah, real estate's a little more expensive down there.
Yes, very, very.
Yeah.
More expensive and less space.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So tell us about the Bikes and Bass show.
So Bikes and Bass.
You kind of touched up on it a little bit, but
yeah. So there's 2 parts of it, right? So Bikes and Bass. The first part of bikes is that we started out, and I started out. My love is for customization of any motorsport. Like I said, I kind of group all those things into whether that's a bagger, a sport bike, a slingshot, a Riker, a Can-Am, whatever that is. I love the customization part of it. So our show always have 2 components to it. So the first component is going to be, hey, what customization did you do? So we do a bike show, and that bike show, whether that's a slingshot show, car show, whatever that looks like, we're going to do that first part of the show because that's where we started out. That's where my passion is building stuff, or at least having things built. So whether it be paint or wheels or lights or whatever that looks like, that customization thing, we try to make sure that we never lose sight. That's really how all of this started. The audio thing, like Kim said, just signal is fairly it's small in its infancy stage. I know we have done crazy things over the last 5 years or so, but the audio industry and motorsports as a whole is fairly small. So we love to make sure that we still give kudos to those guys that are still innovating and making cool things on bikes, doing crazy paint work, doing wraps on Rikers and slings and things of that nature. The light game is absolutely crazy in all industries right now. The wheel game is something that in South Florida we don't have a lot of, but when we leave South Florida, I love looking at wheels on slingshots, Rikers, Can-Ams, all those things. So we want to make sure that bike part or that show part of it is still alive and well. Then the bass part, while it is just talks about bass, that's when the sound bullies come in, and I'll let Kim talk about that part.
Well, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Sound bullies that was established in 2018, and one of our last shows that we did in South Beach, we brought in the slingshot competition along with the baggers, and that took things to a whole different level because people had no idea that baggers could sound the way they did, and they really had no clue what a slingshot was even at that point in 2018, 2019, and then what was being done. I mean, we had a guy that lived in down, I think, Cutler Bay. He had a trailer full of speakers on his slingshot. This was back in 2018, 2019. And he rolled in, and everyone, everywhere from the street to inside the venue, just stopped where they were.
Green one, right?
What's that?
Black one?
Yeah, it was green and black. Yep. And he just, he stopped traffic, and people were just amazed at what was being done with these 3-wheel, vehicles that they never had seen before. So that kind of sparked, the slingshot audio game in South Florida with I would say just him there, plus some of the guys doing just, your basic, headrest and things of that sort. And then it just grew, and people started putting speakers everywhere. And as we all know how it goes, and now it's not just 2 wheels, it's 3 wheels, and putting audio on it, painting wheels, making them unique. And there's some amazing slingshots in the industry right now. And every time we go to Georgia, I'd say the Atlanta area has been like one of the most crazy areas to see some of the slingshot innovations.
Oh, wow.
So, we go there and we like to hear the music. And like we talked about, we're a balanced show. It's not just about the bass drop, even though it's called Bikes and Bass. It's about just your overall clarity and everything that goes along with the sound.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good that y'all travel and can experience the different sounds that that people will tune to, because there is a whole different culturally the way the music is played or what they're listening to, like in Florida, with your compression drivers, with your horns, with with that type of music, and then Texas has its own type of music, and then Georgia, East Coast. I mean, everybody's got their own type of music they listen to, so their tuning kind of goes hand in hand with that, depending on, I guess, who's tuning it. We talked briefly, before we started, about Smitty. Smitty has a good ear for tuning, and the reproduction.
Hey man, let's not give him too much. Let's not do that.
There's such a different aspect to it. I had Brad with 12-volt tune mine, and he had a whole different sound that I was looking for with the vocal, and he was able to accomplish that. But I had so much experience getting beat in Florida, where it's like, okay, I know what I need to do to Brad's tune to also bring out that obnoxiousness too, so that you can have the best of both worlds. And it's silly and it sounds dumb from a professional tuner point of view, but when it comes to like competition, like they have a thing they're listening for, they want it clean and strong and vocally loud and pure, but they also want it obnoxiously loud. And it's like, how do you achieve that? And I think that's what it can be done, but then it goes to the, each platform, each show have their own way of saying it's not a volume contest, it's not a bass contest, but I've never been to one of you guys' shows. I definitely want to do it. I want to experience it for myself.
We have one coming up next weekend, right?
I know. It's kind of short notice. Well, it's not short notice. I've been seeing it.
You've known about it, so it's your fault, not mine.
I know. I spent all my money moving, so yeah.
Hey, I got one in September too. You coming to that one?
Okay. We might make that. That's
all right. Cool. See,
oh man, you got put on the spot.
Yeah. 2 of them right there. Bang bang.
I'm gonna have to write it down. I have to make notes because I forget, and I'm like, shit, But it's funny because it seems like every time I go to an event, they're like, they'll give you the instructions. It's not a loudness competition, and we're not looking for bass. They say all these things, but at the end of the day, it's like that's exactly what you wanted. And so it's like, as a competitor, do I pull back because I know I can get ridiculously loud and obnoxious, or do I play it the way I play it? And that's where it's never consistent. And as a competitor, it can get frustrating. It's like, oh my God, what are they really looking for? So I like I said, I like the experience. What you guys, how you guys put it together, and what you guys look for in the sound, because it's I think so far with each show that I've been to, or each different platform, I kind of know what you should give them, because what they're looking for is not normally what they say they're looking for. But so I don't know, it gets weird. I know it's subjective because judges can be different.
Well, so this is what I'll say to that, right? I've had the privilege, right, to go to a few different. I know there's a few different slingshot platforms, and we've been to all of them, and we kind of done a little research on them and attended them all and listened, right? Because while we've been doing slingshots at our shows for years, it's not something that we've always just focused on, right? And not, we've mixed it in, and we've tried to do a good job of marketing to the slingshot community, and that slingshot community has definitely grown over the last few years. But we wanted to go to where the majority of the slingshot competitors are, to understand what a slingshot competition looks like from your current perspective.
Yeah.
And we're not here to try to change anything or whatever, but we do have a different way that we do things. So I will answer the first part of what you said by saying this, right? I believe that you should be able to play your machine, in this case, your Slingshot, at its full volume, whatever that looks like, without distortion, and to have an equal sound over all three phases of music, right? Your three phases of music are going to be your mids, highs, and your lows. So if that means that your Slingshot can be obnoxiously loud, not distort, and still hit all three of those marks, I don't think that you should be handicapped on saying, hey, you can only go to, volume 30 on your Slingshot, right? So I've been in the shows where I've seen people tell somebody, oh man, your Slingshot sounded great, it was perfect, but it was too loud. And I was like, I don't understand that, right? Just because you need to, and one thing that we've had to learn even in the bagger world, hey, some Slingshots, some bikes, some Rikers, whatever that may be, you may have to step back a little bit as a judge to be able to really take that in. And it took us a long time to learn that as judges in the bagger world, right? So the idea of something being too loud, but it sounds great and it's perfect, doesn't make sense to me. No, that just means, hey, it's hurting my ears. All right, cool. Just take 4 steps back. You know what I'm saying? That's what I got to do, especially in the Slingshot world. When you guys have so many compression drivers, right? And I see a lot of people and judges standing right up on a Slingshot. And I'm like, I wouldn't be able to listen to music for the next 10 days if I was standing that close to a Slingshot, right? So one thing that we'll try to infuse in the next few shows that we do with the Slingshot community is a different perspective of judges, right? Like you said, we did speak about it before. I believe that music, in what we're doing in the Slingshot community and the bagger community, is we're trying to replicate sound, right? We're trying to take what Bad Bunny or Prince or Michael Jackson or whomever recorded that the first time. We're trying to take that and replicate that and make that sound the exact same way that it sounds in that recording. We don't want to overemphasize the mids or to make the high scream or make the bass drop too low or whatever that looks like. We just want to make it perfect. So in our shows, in a Sound Bully show, we look at all three phases of the music, right? And that is going to be your mids, highs, and your lows. We do care that you have good volume. So if you've got more volume and you can still,
turn it up.
if you can turn that thing up and it sounds good, right. There's a difference in turning it up and it sounds like shit.
It's loud.
There's a difference, right? Distortion is still a bad thing, right? And we try to make sure that the judges that we have definitely understand what the difference between something that is just loud and something that sounds good. My whole thing has always been whether there's a ton of platforms in the bagger community, right? In those platforms, we believe that we do have one of the best platforms there are out there. And that's because we are consistent in what we look for every single time. Every single time we want to have the same show, right? We want to have that same show to where you can come to us and hey, this is a Sound Bully show and they care about music. And in that, then you can be more confident in playing your sling. And whether you win or lose, you know that you were fairly gave a fair shake, so to speak.
Now, with that being said, how do you pick your judges? Like, who are the judges at your competition?
Yeah, so our judges have a wide range of knowledge, I would say. What we try to do with our judges is we try to make sure that they align with our values. There are a lot of great guys out there, and girls for that matter, building amazing things. So when we talk to other shops or other competitors or whatever that looks like, we want to make sure that those people align with how we hear music and what we're looking for. Like Tim said a little bit ago, this isn't a bass competition. So you come on Sunday, next Sunday or this coming Sunday, and you think, man, I got the baddest bass in all of Georgia. That's cool. If your mids is muddy, you're gonna lose. I promise. You ain't got to show up. Keep your money. Because the judges that we pick and we already referenced Smitty. We believe that the people that we do have, they align with our values, right? Our values are, what does music sound like? And it doesn't have to be a certain genre, right? It doesn't have to be just R&B, right? I can listen to country, or I can listen to rock, or I can listen to EDM, and as long as it is replicated in the way in which it was recorded, that's going to win, right? And you can have a bad song and you can get beat by a good song for sure, but you're still going to have those key components of, hey, does the music sound good? And not just, hey, does that person have good bass? Or, hey, is that person louder than me? And so when we pick judges, it's because we've had a lot of conversation with those people. Yeah. Over the last 10 years, my wife, Kim, has done an amazing job building relationships across the industry. And we have some great relationships with different shops and manufacturers. And then through those things, we have a lot of conversation with a lot of different people. And that's how we pick our judges, right? So those people that we constantly share ideas with and trade information back and forth, because we do believe that the only way that this industry as a whole gets bigger is if we do exchange information, right? You can call Mavericks at any time and you can say, hey, I'm running into this problem. What have you guys ever seen this? And if we've seen it, we want to help you. We want to be a conduit of resource because someone helped us at some point in this journey of ours. So the people that we have shared ideas with and have conversation with, those are the people that we pick as our judges, if they're willing to do literally the hardest job in all of the slingshot motorcycle industry, which is be a judge and then have to deal with the backlash on Facebook on that Monday.
But I think if you're as a judge or as a platform in general or as a show, however you want to put it, if you're consistent with your judging every single time,
absolutely,
that wins every time. Because I mean, what you like I said, I go to different events, different shows, different platforms. I know how I got to play because that's what they're listening for. And and it's and then sometimes they won't be consistent, and you're like,
come on now,
yeah. And one thing too,
I would have destroyed last weekend, or whatever. And that's where it can get frustrating as a competitor. It's like consistency. If you say this, you have to do it every time. And sometimes I see that with platforms they don't, and you're just like, shit. So I think that's important though. Yeah, is having a true mission, a true idea of what you're trying to preach, and that's what you preach to your judges and to people that are coming to the show, so they know exactly what they need to play and how they need to play it, because that's what you're looking for. And I told you what I was looking for, and that's important.
I mean, I have like people sending me questions.
Yeah, I see some popping up on the screen here.
Yeah. So we can talk. We're definitely gonna talk about the itinerary for the show, but just something I thought of real quick. For the judging, how do you guys? Is it like a scorecard? Is it how do you guys do the judging?
So I am not.
Do the judging.
Yeah. So we are not scorecard people, right? I believe a scorecard is just a way to hide behind something, if that makes sense. In order to do a scorecard accurately, you have to understand what is perfect, right? So the idea that I can give you a scorecard, but I don't know what perfect is, right? If I don't have a reference point of what perfect is, then I can't give you a scorecard. That is my absolute fundamental idea about scorecards, right? If you ever watch the Olympics, they can point to what is a perfect score in the women's all around, right? They can tell you what those things are. In the audio industry of the motorcycle or slingshot, we don't have that standard. Kind of what we just talked about, what JT said, because every platform is different, because every judge is different, because it's so subjective. This isn't IASCA. We don't have everybody plays the same song and this is how it's going to be done and so forth and so on. So because you don't know what perfect is, you can't have a scorecard. And I'm not knocking any show that has a scorecard, even though that's absolutely what it sounded like I just did.
Yeah,
it's not.
They're going to come for you. They're going to come for you.
So, and the reason we don't do scorecards is what I just said. I believe that if you use a scorecard, you can't say, if me and Kim are in the ring together, you can't. I've heard people say, oh, well, Kim had better mids than you. Well, that's not how a scorecard should work, right? A scorecard should be, this is what perfect is, and this is how I rank towards that. It shouldn't be me against the person next to me. And that's how sometimes scorecards, to me, get a little bit weird. So at our shows, we definitely do, when I talk to my judges before, if it's a new judge, which is very rare, I don't have very many new judges. But when I speak to the judges, and what they understand is we're going to pick the bike, and we do the paddle system like many people. We're going to pick the bike that sounds the best right now, right? How did that bike make you feel right now? Did you feel that song? Did it sound phonetically right? Is it played the way it should be? Did the person play the bike the way that they should have played it? Sometimes, I don't go in the ring in any circumstances. I don't
I
have
tell him his playlist is trash.
Yeah, I don't have the playlist to go in the ring. But what I will say is that when I watch my wife in the ring, who is one of the best at it,
I saw yesterday.
try me.
Weekend, right? A little something of this.
Try me. But when I see her in the ring, sometimes like I can be like, I'll be that guy on the sideline that's losing their mind. I want her to, hey, click down one notch here or go up 2 notches there. Or, hey, get in the bass knob, so forth and so on. So our judges know that we're looking for that balanced sound. And so, like I said, we don't do scorecards. However, we do try to make sure we pick every single time the right winner. And do we get it right all the time? No, we don't. We try really hard.
And it's the replication, like we said originally, the replication of the original song. So it's a balanced sound. It shouldn't be overpowering with the bass. It shouldn't be screaming in your ears. It should be a balanced sound that's the best replication of that song and how it was originally recorded.
Yeah. And now to get to Miss Corinne's question, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering that have never been to the show and are probably going to be there the first time or have been there before and just kind of want to get some clarification. I know it's 4 days, correct?
Yeah. So it's a 4-day festival. Yeah, it's a long kind of weekend, but it starts on Thursdays. Just they do their Thursday bike night. Just kind of come hang out at the dealership. Nothing too formal. But then it starts Friday nights when all the big events start. So Friday night we have the LED competition. So that's a lot of fun. We had some really good slings there and bikes there last year in September. And then we do what's the Puff Puff Pass, which is just a sound cipher. So we just kind of get in a big ring. Everyone gets to play for a minute or so, just play their favorite songs, get the crowd going, have fun. It's a night party, just kind of a meet and greet party and getting into the weekend. Everyone is invited, slings, bikes, bicycles, ruckus, everything, so we have a good time. Yeah, you're surprised that, down here, we have our buddy Orby. He put some sounds on the ruckus, so you never know.
I think it's Ruck Eye.
The ruckuses.
Yeah, the ruckuses.
Friday, you said you have a light competition. Is it bikes and slingshots competing
together? We're gonna have trophies for everybody. So there's gonna be a category for slings and a category for bikes, and then it'll be conducted. We'll be helping UFO Lights out of Georgia, so they'll be the ones conducting the competition. We'll be helping to judge, but it'll be a good time. It's based off of I know some of his topics are control of the lights, the overall display. There's a lot of, I'll send out the list too, but it'll be a pretty thorough LED competition with trophies and everything.
Okay, so that's Friday.
Yep. And then Saturday is pretty much, it's a full day. You can come with your family, friends, whatever. Other than our sound, which I'll get into, and bike show, we have stunt shows, vendors, live bands, everything. But then basically starting at 1:00, registration's 11 to 1. It's the motorcycle competition of sound. And then we're going to be doing the grudges between Zeus and Mad Scientist. So that should be some really good fun. Last year, Zeus went against the band and the DJ, which was fun.
Wait, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time because he actually ended up like.
Did he win?
I don't know if he won, but it was amazing to hear his bike with the full stage DJ, so, we had a huge crowd. It was a lot of fun. Everyone had a good time, but we'll be doing the grudge between the two there on the main stage. So it'll be a big crowd that gets to see it and everyone gets to hang out and it'll be a good time. Then, we have the motorcycle sound, and then Sunday is all about our sling family. So we'll be doing the custom competition.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, you can't just, we're on Slingshot Audio Garage, and we can't just skip over this grudge match before we get to Sunday. So how in the world did this grudge match, like who picked it, why, who did the call out? Tell us about that, because that slingshot is very well known in our slingshot community. And of course, in the biker community, that's a very well known bike. So who made that? That?
So we met everybody at Memphis Madness, and we heard the Mad Scientist sling up there, and I was like, this thing is crazy. And of course, Zeus is, he's always someone that comes to our shows. They've always supported the shows. And I was like, you know what? We've done some sling, like I think 2 years ago in Atlanta, we did a guy from Texas, his slingshot against Zeus, and it was a great time. But it was kind of informal. It was just real quick before the show. But this time I said, hey guys, I got in touch with Ted and I was like, what do you guys think about doing, this at the big show? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And so it kind of was born from there, and everyone was excited about it from day one, on both sides, the bike world, the sling world. And I think it's going to be pretty epic.
It is. It's going to be fun. You're going to see, it was like a little joke, but you're going to see a tiny little slow flow sling sticker on there, not claiming that it's, a slow flow slingshot, but, it might sound a little better.
And when you heard it in Memphis, I think I played it in heavyweight, and I think it was a heavyweight or super heavyweight, and
you didn't win.
Beat, but
you didn't win.
Heavyweight, and I got beat, but then Brad was like, "Bro, what are you scared of the volume up?" I'm like,
"That's what I was gonna say." I remember because I heard it under the
different.
tent over at your display at your vendor space. I was like, "He played a little different this time. That's not how it sounded over there."
And that's what like his is tuned with an Android phone and his Tidal music, and then I've got iPhone, so it's totally different tune and sound, and so it's like I'm playing it and it sounds great, but it's like I know it sounds better, but it could sound better. So yeah, it is.
So that's why you're not coming this weekend, because they don't want to mess up. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's what it is. They're like,
makes sense.
I'll be like, go ahead, play it.
Makes perfect sense.
But yeah, no, when I saw that thing in Memphis, I was like, oh, we got to do something. We got to get them at a show and have some fun with that. So the best of both worlds, as we call it.
Yep, exactly. Because I haven't heard Zeus in person, but from what I understand, they say it's like ridiculous. Like,
you can feel the bass from a mile away. It's every year he does something different.
I don't know about a mile, but
when he first unveiled it at Daytona a year ago, I was a few yards back in between people, and it was a great sound. So, and then like I said, I've heard both, and I think that people are going to be amazed by what kind of sound you guys get out of these machines. It's going to be. That's always
the fun part. Especially for me, I just like doing dumb stuff at this point. Like I'm kind of over the competition part. It's like, that's always going to keep evolving, and it gets more and more exciting. And I love seeing the ridiculousness that goes along with it. So, and that's what's cool is when people are new to it and they don't really know. Like, let's say, you could have 20 years in car audio. That's not a slingshot. It's not a bagger. It's not a bike. It's a totally different sound. Yeah. And so when you step into the slingshot audio world, you're like, I'm going to put a sub in there, and you're trying to follow these car audio rules.
What? What you mean it don't work?
It doesn't work the same, and then they hear something that's like isn't supposed to work at all, and it's like, holy shit, and it's just it's always a cool thing to see the eye opener of like, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah, you don't want to play in that sandbox either, because people spend a lot.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Down to a rabbit hole.
So Sunday.
Okay,
Sunday. Sunday.
Yeah. So Sunday's all about the slings. We have the custom sling competition. We have a couple of classes of best theme, best paint, lights. We have a few different classes. They're all on the registration sheet, but best of show. Like I said, I've been truly amazed by some of the designs that I've seen with slingshots over the last few years and how they've evolved. So we're going to focus all on slings on Saturday or Sunday. We did a show last year, and that was some feedback that we got. They were like, we need to focus. We need to have some more time for the slings instead of everyone at one time trying to get everybody in. So when we talked with Falcon Fury, they were like, let's do it. So we have a day for the motorcycles. We have a day for the slings.
Hold on one second. Who is Baby Smoke?
Baby Smoke.
They want us to know that he's in the building, because he's going absolutely apeshit in the comments.
His name's Damien Navarro.
Okay, so that is Damien. And he is. I'll bring him to you guys' shop. You could meet him personally.
Oh boy.
What up, man?
And he goes by Baby Smoke,
Smoke.
Miami Baby Smoke. But yeah, he's part of our SoFlo team, and
Okay.
That's what's
he
up.
always
Hey,
spams the comments because he always wants people to know that he's in the building.
and
Even though
he's
we
in the
know
building.
Yes.
it's all the first 30 comments, but
Hey, comment, like, subscribe. That's the goal,
Yeah.
right? Comment, like, subscribe. Always.
Yep.
But yeah, so then we have the big slingshot comp. Oh, and I don't want to forget, I've been talking with Jack and Lemon Drop, Sarah. They're going to be there, and they want some middleweight bike action on Saturday. So we're going to do some grudges. We're going to try to get someone who's, not scared to get called out by this Lemon Drop. So she's ready to grudge. So we're going to have some fun with her as well, and some of our middleweight bikes on Saturday. And then we're also doing a grudge fest with just the middleweight motorcycles. And then skip the Sunday. We're doing this slingshot competition. We have the full list of rules from featherweight all the way up to heavyweight and extreme. So it'll be a great time on Sunday. Still having our stunt shows, still having vendors and the big stage with concerts. So it's a full weekend full of stuff that you can do and hang out and have fun.
What we won't be discussing today are rules. 'Cause I heard that's a very hot topic in the slingshot community.
Yeah.
So
Kareem just said she wants to call out Lemon Drop. So she said Bounty Hunter versus Lemon Drop grudge.
Yeah.
So
I see that. She said,
Nice.
"There we go, Sarah. Yes, baby."
Nice.
there we go. so yeah, anyone who wants to call people out, tell them to call it out. And like I said, it's all about having fun. Other than getting through the classes and stuff, it's just about having a good time. And whoever wants to call them out, call them out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think that's what people forget. It's like like, what did y'all call it? The puff pass, just playing, just playing around, just playing, just playing.
Yeah, having a good time, dancing.
Keep going. Like everybody has a badass system. Like it becomes a point where you got a badass system. You win. Like you've won at life. I mean, shit, you're driving around in disposable income with a crazy audio system that could get wet and destroyed at any second. You won. So have fun at this point. Like don't rely on 3 random people to tell you that your shit's good or not, because it is. It's awesome. And that's what's fun is, even grudging, just going back and forth and, playing 2 badass systems. Like, that's.
So I actually, it's crazy you say that, right? So like I have these 2 competing, things on my shoulders because I own a shop.
Yep.
Right. And people come in the shop and say, hey man, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars and you got to make me a winner. And I say, no, thank you. Right. I'm not going to do that. What I promise everybody, and what you just said is probably what the most important thing is, right? I want to build people, as we transition back to the shop, right? I want to build people things that they are happy with for the other 350 days of the year that they don't play at a show, right? Yep. Because at the end of the day, so many people get caught up in shows. And as a promoter, well, I'm not a promoter. I'm a host. She's a promoter. So as a host of a show, it conflicts sometimes, right? Because I do want people to come in there and want to win and want to compete and all that. But as a shop owner, I want everybody to, when you leave this shop or any shop, because we're all out here, making money, trying to spend money and all that other stuff. But when you spend your money and you get your machine out of whatever shop it's in, you should be happy with it, right? So the reason that we do that puff pass, because at the end of the day, in a competition, you get, in our show, you get 90 seconds. Mm-hmm. Some shows you get more, you get to come back, all that other stuff. But that 90 seconds shouldn't define your whole weekend worth of fun, right? Yeah. So on our Friday night puff fast, hanging out, just having a good time, playing music, and then having conversation, right? Because you could play something and I could walk up to you, but hey, bro, don't ever play that shit again.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
That might be on your playlist. I'm like, bro, throw that shit.
He literally tells people, delete that off your playlist.
Yeah, just get rid of that, right? and I'll give you those nuggets because I drink whiskey and sometimes it happens, right? So,
honestly, comes out.
But we should be able to share those ideas, and sometimes I know people get offended when someone tells them something, right?
Yeah.
But I think that if it's delivered the right way, hey man, look, man, I don't think you should play it at 45, man. Maybe come down off the volume, right? And just try to help people, because at the end of the day, as a promoter or as a host of a show, I want more people to register for the show. I want more people to enter the show. I want more people to play their things. And if you always think I'm always losing because my shop didn't do a good job, well, sometimes it is the person playing the bike, right? But being able to hear that maybe from a different source, man, I've had 100 customers that tell me that I tell them something and then somebody else tells them the same thing. They're like, yeah, man, why didn't Maverick tell me that? Bro, I've been telling you that for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So, but we should focus on the totality of what we got into this for. And that's the fun part about it, right?
Yeah.
Not many people build something just to say, I'm going to compete 10 times a year. Not many. So there's some.
I think you could almost go as far as you have to play Friday night in a grudge or you can't compete on the weekend. Like I would, if I was promoting a show, I like that because some people, they just won't play their system until that one round.
Oh yeah, man, they don't want nobody to know what they got. Because it's secret, man.
Yeah, and I'm like,
cleaning all the sauce.
I would
they might go back and retune their mic.
Play that shit. If you're signed up to compete, I need a demo.
Yeah, look, man. I've had my own.
That's the puff pass, right? That's kind of like
that is, and
but there's so many people that won't enter that. Like,
they'll still just sit back and listen and try to take notes. They'll be like, oh, they played. You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, I like that idea for the record. I might steal it.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's a good idea. Like if you signed up to play Saturday or whatever the competition is, you got to demo your bike. Everybody needs to hear it. Just because, like, we want to make sure. I don't know what we're trying to make sure of. It's just, you know, like, it just seems so silly. Like everybody shows up to hear, you know, bad sign. Well, I can't say like Rob or nobody like that, like because he plays the shit out of it all weekend.
He's actually in the comments saying that he's like, you know, I'll play my shit.
Rob will play his like he plays this shit all weekend, and I'm impressed with that. I'm impressed with that build because it's almost like he's trying to blow it. I'm like, dude, you still got to compete tomorrow, and but I love that because it's like,
I'd rather it blow on a puff pass night than on the show night, right? Because I got extra speakers in the trailer. First off, second off, I'll lose. I can't lose at puff pass, right? I can if I clip or if I blow something in the ring, well, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather get all the kinks out of the arsenal.
And you don't have to play it like full tilt. Like I don't expect somebody to play, you know, competition volume. Like I don't expect that, but you can play it. If you can't even if you can't even turn your stereo on without wondering if you're going to blow something, then maybe you should get a different installer.
Yeah. No, like Kareen said just a second ago, they will not play Bounty Hunter until they're like pushing it into the ring the day of the show or whatever that looks like. I mean, and to me, crazy. Yeah. I know what that bike got. Just play the bike. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. That's what I say. I like the idea of you know, and that makes it fun. Like it's, I don't know, it's silly, but I just there's more to it than just playing for 90 seconds and getting told you're good or you're not.
Right. You know, add some more fun to it. Yeah.
Yeah, like maybe we open the hood and judge the install a little bit, or I don't know, like maybe that goes along with your playing, like maybe that goes along with your sound judge. I mean, I don't know, like there's so many ways I think that you can expand on it than just three people saying for 90 seconds you sounded better than this person, which is all it really needs. But I don't know, I think there's so many
hey JT,
so many things.
JT, who hurt you, bro?
I know. It's like there's so much it could be.
I feel it. I can feel it through the screen. Yeah. Who hurt you, bro? Like, we'll talk offline, man. We'll talk offline. Don't worry about it. But
are you guys reading the comments? Because I don't know if somebody said the puff pass, and they all took it. They're all like passing it to each other in the comments. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, we got it started already, huh?
That's perfect.
I think it's legal in Georgia. If you're in Florida, vote. Coming over here. But we try to have a good time. That's for sure.
That's the thing with our shows is like we've been doing it for a long time, and we always talk about this. It seems like daily or at least every event. When we started, literally there was a handful of us doing audio in bikes and slings. It literally a handful, and we would just get together, play our bikes, and just have a good time. And it was nothing real official. It was just fun. And as we started getting into the shows and doing more shows, some of the fun kind of got away because it got too serious. And we like to keep it fun, lighthearted. If you don't win, we'll give you some feedback and tell you what you can do better. And, come to the next show. And we have a guy, for instance, Rob Collins. He has he calls his bike the Rooster. He has a middleweight bike. He used to come to our show for years, never won. And he just kept going back into the lab, kept figuring out, getting his playlist together. And when he won, his whole team, it was like, like a kid winning a football game. And the whole team, his whole group just yelled for him. And he's like, I just kept working until I got there. He never got mad. He never said, I'm not doing this stuff because, I never win. He just kept playing the game and kept going back into the lab. And he eventually, and now he's killing it everywhere, And it's supposed to be about having fun. You lose, you come back next time, and you drink after.
Yeah.
Or during. It depends on who you are.
Yep.
Before, during, and after.
Yeah, exactly.
After I kind of slow down.
Yeah.
But during, there's usually a line of whiskeys or Jack and Cokes in the ring, and I come in and I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah. It is though. That's what it's got to be about. I think that gets so lost in the competition part of it is the fun part. That's why I try to just beat that into just over and over and over. It's like, dude, you got a badass system. Like everybody's got a badass system, and it's like it don't matter. Like you're good, but
and we're all in different levels of that, right? I've rebuilt her personal bike 5 or 6 times, right? Yep. And she can go play it. She played it this weekend, and people told her it was amazing. And while people were telling her it's amazing, I'm sitting there thinking about what I'm going to do next, right? Because we're all in different parts of it. And I've had people talk to me, and it's look, we have wonderful sponsors of Bikes and Bass, and you will hear about them all, right? But we have them, right? But your speaker doesn't determine how good your build is. Right? I hear people say if you don't have X speaker or X tweeter or X sub, then you don't have a good sounding bike, and that's not true, right? I've seen people with $45 mids that sound better than a person with $250 mids, so forth and so on. So I won't say that again because like my sponsors don't have $40 mids. But what I am saying on this Aircast is that we're all in different processes of this. And if you're just getting into it, whether it be Slingshot, motorcycles, Rikers, Cannon, whatever it looks like, if you're just getting into it and hey, this is what your budget can afford right now, well, that's cool. Maximize that, right? Find what you can get in that, and then hey, on the next build, we're gonna do this next thing and so forth and so on. So I think that sometimes we lose sight of, and we see the mad scientists of the world or the Zeuses of the world, and we be like, oh man, I ain't there yet. No, you there, right? Like enjoy what you got, and then hey, we rock it from there. But no, and I think sometimes too many people lose sight of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no, exactly. Yeah, that's a big deal for me. It's like, man, everybody's got this badass stereo systems and they're mad. And I'm like,
I don't like get it. With all this nice disposable money over here.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me because I mean, I chased the carrot for years. Like, Elizabeth in Texas, she was killing me for 2 years straight. I mean, I was like, what do I do? And I'm building up. I got all these, Bama speakers, and I got like 6 Sound Digital amps and batteries, and
Sound Digital is a great sponsor.
14 different tweeters, and it's like, and then I finally got it tuned right and sounded right, and I finally beat her, and I beat her like 3 times, and it's like, I'm good. I don't want to compete anymore. Like that's
You're like, I'm done. I retire.
I'm like, why? How much did I spend to get to that? And it's like,
who was that you said? I didn't hear the name. Who you said?
Elizabeth in Texas.
Oh, got it. Yep.
Yeah. She still got a badass system. Like today, she would smoke me because I know mine's not where it was when I was beating her, and I beat Jarrell, and I was killing it. And it's like, and I'm okay with not being that at that area anymore because you got like Lemon Drop. She retired me. Like I'm out. Out. I'm not chasing that carrot. I'm not.
So here's my question to you though, right? To both of you guys. So in our world, right, in my day job, everything to me is about not necessarily what you have, right? Is are you in tune with it, right? So can you play it? So you talked about how you kept chasing this stick and changing speakers and doing this and and kept upgrading this and that. Do you think you beat her because you changed equipment or because you stopped changing and learned how to play your machine better?
I started winning. Well,
Let's
I
see.
won.
Is she watching?
I think so. But like I have my I had everything put together and it was amazing sounding to me, but there was a particular sound that I didn't have. And I like to call it a loud voice. And it's hard to explain. And I get it in a bagger. And so when I took mine to Brad at 12 volt to have him tune it, that changed everything. I went to New Orleans and me and Jarrell were playing, like I was sandbagging for like 3 rounds. And then I played Jarrell and it was like, he had no chance. And everybody was like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, that was a good feeling because it was like, that is amazing, you know, but it's not a real sound either. Like you can't play that going down a freeway at full tilt for, 7 hours. That's not real. That's like 1 minute, turn the shit down because something's about to blow. And so I won like 4 belts that year. Like I won like $4,000 with, 3-wheel showdown. So it was cool. Like it was a good thing. It was awesome. And then I'm like, all right, I'm good. But it was not right until Brad tuned it. And he separated.
So it wasn't the equipment, it was the tuner. It wasn't the equipment. It was you don't think it was the equipment, it was more the tuner than the equipment.
It was absolutely tuner because I mean I have, I do have some awesome equipment, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of money in it. But at the end of the day, no matter what I had in there, it was never going to be right until somebody could put their ear on it that had that experience in the, all the years in tuning that he has with baggers and just, the audio industry and having that sound. And that's really what it comes down to. And having that, I think I might be crazy, but I got 3 different types of tweeters with 3 different types of frequencies going to them. So they're not all the same. And then of course, depending on where the speakers are setting, they have a different frequency and different, loudness, and my bass is my bass. But, and then so everything has a separation and then the time alignment. So everything like that, where technically it's all wired mono. I don't have left and right. But when I'm driving down the freeway, it's like, that shit's echoing because of the time alignment, and I'm like, that's what I knew or something was different. So when you turn it up to the volume where it needs to be, it's like,
it truly drives me insane that slingshots aren't wired in stereo. But that's another pod for another time on another day.
I've said that on the Slingshot Audio Garage. If everybody had to play the left side, half the slingshots would be disqualified.
I don't understand it. I had the privilege of doing a slingshot in this here categories of it, and it blows my mind. I haven't wired anything mono in probably, I don't know, 15 years or so. And then when they was like, oh no, we just do everything mono, I was like, no, we don't.
One signal and everything just goes.
No, that's not how it works.
It's different. And now don't get me wrong. I guess depending on how you're listening and what you're listening to, it's nothing wrong with it. But if you are listening to something that should be jumping, it ain't gonna jump.
Yeah.
So
when you don't hear Michael Jackson walking across.
Yeah, if you don't hear Michael Jackson walk across that stage, it's a problem.
Yeah. That's why
What's
the reason we're not discussing rules is because we don't have a full day. Our rules are posted. I just know that there's been some conversation over rules in the slingshot world.
We'll tell it. We're for this event, we are following the 3-wheel showdown rules list. So it is posted on our website. I'll post it in the chat here. So it is on the registration form. So it is the 3-wheel showdown rule list. Just how they have it. We're trying to make it as consistent as possible because I know there's a lot of different platforms and different things that have changed over the years. But we've been consistent with their rules for the last couple of years. So it's not that we don't want to discuss it. It's just that there is a lot that goes into the rules, and that could be a whole nother podcast.
We ain't discussing.
Oh yeah.
I see you really just don't want to discuss it.
They tried to get me on another conference call and podcast. No. No, thank you. I have to deal with motorcycle rules.
It gets silly. Like I said, I like what they did with the rules. I do like that, trying to keep, featherweight to featherweight and, I do like that because it can get carried away fast, and that's just the way it is. People are going to evolve. They're going to make things different. They're going to make it better. They're going to be creative. Like guy in Houston, Alan with the I forget the name. Audio Hogs. Yeah, he moved the whole damn gas tank, put a sub box in there, and it's supposed to be incredible. And I'm like, you did what? Like that's some shit. I like that. I want to do that now. So
and that is what it's about, right? And I don't want anybody to get it confused. I made the joke about not talking about the rules because I know it was such a topic of contention in the slingshot world, and in the bagger world, it was we changed rules this year, and it was also a 2-week extravaganza. But we post our rules at the beginning of the year for all of our shows. We do an amazing job, and by we I mean Kim does an amazing job of not changing those rules and make sure they're posted for everybody to see. But our rules, right? What I want to see is what you just talked about, JT, right? That room for creativity, right? Hey, here are the rules. I'm not going to try to nail you down to something so specific that everybody has the same thing. If you can be creative, if you can get innovative, and you can do something different, do it, right? That's how it should be. Because at the end of the day, that's again where I started, right? I started in this game many years ago. Just trying to figure out where those nuances are in all the rules and how I can stretch those to a person be like, hey, are you cheating? Right? Because like y'all got this ribbon tweeter thing in the slingshot world that ain't a tweeter, but we're not gonna talk about that today. Again, it's not a tweeter, right? It's physically not a tweeter, but y'all call it a tweeter, right? Because it's tweeter in the name, but it ain't a tweeter. Right? So it ain't counted. But again, not going to discuss it.
I always go that step further, and Ted hates it when I say this. It's like, we should count tweeters. Why don't you count tweeters? A tweeter is a speaker. If you took off 12 of my tweeters and had 2 tweeters, I would be getting my ass stomped.
Well,
so count tweeters. I think that's a discussion that would be real. Like if you got let's say featherweight's 8 speakers, but tweeters count. I think that's a discussion that would change everything.
Well, in your world, so and that's crazy, right? So in the slingshot world, and I shouldn't say your world because I try to operate in all of them. Yeah, I try to operate in all of them, right? South Florida, but you know, Paula, like South Florida slingshot community isn't what it is maybe in Orlando and north from there, right? We have such a rental slingshot community in South Florida, right? You're going to just get a set of 8s and maybe a SSV Works box in the back. That's it, right? That's all you're going to get in South Florida.
Yeah.
But what I'll say is that what would happen if you took those tweeters away or you counted them as speakers, you wouldn't have the volume that you guys currently achieve in most cases. And when we first started, a funny story, right? We were one of the first platforms that counted coaxial as 2 speakers, right? We used to have well, we still do, for the record, one of the largest shows in Daytona, and I remember people literally yelling at me, threatening my life about a coaxial isn't 2 speakers, and I said, well, absolutely it is, right? Because if I count a wave guided tweeter that screw on screw off as a speaker, if it's standalone, why isn't it that on a Bema speaker? Because that's the same exact thing, right? They do the same exact thing. We eventually capitulated and allowed it to just be called 1 speaker. But I agree with you. Tweeters, coaxials, all that. We should call it what it is, and they all are speakers. But then we would just have shows that allow 47 speakers per bike.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter, right?
But when I play my slingshot, like right now I have 2 speakers off because I had to take my fenders off. So like when I say that's only 4, it's a featherweight. I got 4 speakers and a 110. But I also have 14 tweeters. So, like, I have, 18 speakers and 110, let's be honest. Like, because if I didn't have those others, it wouldn't sound like it does. So, I just think that's not being honest, Like,
right, I agree. And if you got a tweeter that technically plays lower than, I don't know, 3,500, you probably ain't got a tweeter. But again, that goes back to the ribbon tweeter conversation.
Which we're
not talking about.
Yeah.
And we sell ribbon tweeters on our website if anybody needs some. MavericksCustomMotorsports.com. There, just for the record.
Yeah, I mean, you're right because I'm playing, these these, Euphoria 1.5s at 1100 hertz, and the hertz tweeters at like 750, 1000 hertz. Like they think you're playing low. They don't like it, but they do it, and
you're forcing it. You're never mind. We ain't gonna talk about that today. We ain't gonna talk about that. Hey, look, I'm not finna get in trouble on here. That's for sure.
Wait, because you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
you're gonna get in trouble right now with me.
Nope.
You said we don't have the sound game here in South Florida and the slingshots. I guess you got to come to one of our things because.
Well, first off, I do apologize.
I'm gonna call you by your government name, Jeff.
Whoa!
1 second.
See, now you're in trouble.
Wait a minute, because if not, all right. So you guys got to come to one of our things. And I know you guys travel a lot. You guys go to a lot of shows. You have a lot.
It's like we always end up having shows or being at an event at the same week. I'm like, we keep missing the events every time.
Always. But just so you know, you called out the mad scientist, right? Well, guess what? At Sling Experience, the mad scientist, and I'm not going to say got his ass kicked because it wasn't an ass kicking. It was a fair competition. But he did get beat by one of our guys here in South Florida.
Really?
Gotta look that up.
Who he got beat by? The Joker?
The Joker. Yeah.
Really? Is Joker coming? I think Joker said he's coming.
JT, you're scratching your beard. What's happening?
I would
I had to say it. I don't know.
I would humbly disagree with all that statement. Although the judges picked Joker as the winner, but
and that's who won, JT. That's actually how that works.
No, you're right. Hey, he won, but
I know Ted's about to block me off the live. And
yeah, you're just gonna
waiting for it.
That's when that's what happened. We talked about that.
I was gonna say I've heard them both, but I hope they both show up next weekend.
No, but
we can run it back next Sunday.
It's actually pretty funny. The Joker Sling came last year in September, and I think that video of him pulling into the event was shared like 1,300 times minimum. And then I think the views were in the millions by the time it was all done. Yeah. That thing was its own event.
Don't get me wrong, his slingshot is one of a kind. It's ridiculous. It is loud, it is obnoxious. He's got a ton of bass now. That's pretty good. But if we're talking loud and cleaner, Mad Scientist hands down.
So again, I wasn't there,
but
I will be.
But I'm not a judge.
I will be in Connors, Georgia, this weekend. I would love to run it back, and I'll tell you my opinion on another pod. If they can both make it, Connors, I'll be more than happy to come back and tell you my opinion.
We'll do a post pod.
No, Jokers was impressive. Like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from it. I just when they were head to head, I'm like, man, it was so loud, it wasn't good, and that's my opinion. That don't mean shit. I'm not a judge.
Look, there's all. Hold on 1 second. Time out. Bumblebee. I'm not sure who you are. Be careful what you ask for.
He called that Apollo, which is another big audio bike in the industry. If these call-outs keep coming,
Saturday's great. I love it.
Saturday's gonna be crazy.
Bumblebee's kind of he's part of the Light 'em Up crew in out of Jersey up there, and
I think
I was gonna say I think we know who he is.
He's got a badass slingshot.
Yeah.
Carolina. Was he in Carolina?
We went to a 3-wheel showdown event. I believe it was in Carolina, and I seen a bunch of lighted up guys. They had some nice stuff for sure. They had one little kid. I don't want to call him a little kid because I don't know how old he was, but a younger guy that was running one of the slings, and he murdered it. He was for sure. He was really good.
Yeah, it's probably little Jose or one of them that plays for him.
Like I said, I don't want to look.
Say the wrong person.
I look like I'm only 25, so I know people call me kids, right? So I know I understand how that works. Little Jose, that's what they all said.
Yeah. Yep.
He handled his business for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what I think. That's what makes it fun. And when people can take I don't know if they can take constructive criticism or take a disagreement and it's okay. Like, it's okay. Like, I can say I didn't like the way it sounded. That doesn't mean that I'm like the foremost opinion on all Slingshot audio sound. Like, I'm just a dude with an opinion. I don't that don't mean nothing. But people take it so serious, They're just like, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, dude, but it did sound terrible. Like, I mean, I've said shit about Jack, and I'm not like being mean or hateful. Like, it's just an opinion. It doesn't mean shit. And I think
he won't talk to you for a few months after you say it.
Yeah.
Like, kick me out. I'm done being an admin after today. As soon as we log out, they're gonna be like, "It's been
gone again."
Ted's like,
but no, I don't. Like I said, I didn't say that Joker kicked his ass. I didn't say that. I just said
that is exactly technically what you said.
That's it. That is not what I said, Jeffrey.
I think that's what you said.
That is exactly what. Like I said, all shows that use score sheets are terrible. You absolutely said that the Joker beat the shit out of what you said. That's what I heard.
But and that's what. But that's what you got to do. So that means he has to play him again to prove it. Like when I beat, and I'll say it, when I beat Elizabeth the first time, I was like, no way that just happened. And then I played her again, and she beat me because I clipped. But then we played again, and I beat her. And then we played again, I beat her again. So I beat her twice in a row. So I'm like, I can retire. Like, I'm good because I had to prove it to myself. So
it wasn't just a fluke the first time.
Yeah. So Joker thinks he won, then they should play again.
I like that.
Well, Joker's coming.
Like I said, I'd be more than happy to facilitate it. I'll even kick Zeus out. I don't care. Whatever. I'll just kick it out. We'll make it work.
Oh, shit.
Oh, Damien, I fuck with you too, bro. I don't know why you fuck with me, but I appreciate it.
Because he's down here. That's the guy that was saying baby smoke. Baby smoke.
Hey man, 5295 Northwest 161st. Come on to the shop, man. We'll hang out.
We're gonna come. We gotta do like a little hangout at your spot. So that way everyone kind of gets to know you guys, where you are.
Here's the reason that I don't come to SoFlo Sling events, and I'll tell you why. Because if I come, I'll have to buy my wife a Slingshot, right? She has motorcycles already. She's got the car she wants. She got all the things she wants. So, but if I bring her here, she's going to be like, oh.
I've already actually said that. I was like,
so it's Paula, it's Kareen.
One bike.
Yeah, it's Paula, it's Kareen, it's Lemon Dropper. And I need.
Yep.
So then you won't bring her to us. So we're going to just come.
I ain't got no money.
And we're going to just storm your place.
She got 6 dogs, man. I ain't got no more money. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Bikes and bullies.
Yeah.
But no, we're gonna be there. I promise. The next invite will be.
So how do we? How can people get in touch with you guys? What's your website?
So I'll do all the socials. So Mavericks.com is our website. Has all our parts. If you don't see something you need, you can always give us a call because there's a lot of parts and we're still trying to get everything uploaded as things evolve. We have all the socials. So Mavericks Custom Motorsports on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. It's all the same, Mavericks Custom Motorsports. We're here in Miami Gardens, so you can always stop by the shop. We're open Monday through Friday from 10 to 6. And we're pretty much at an event. It feels like like every other weekend. We're at some event somewhere doing something, but no, we're accessible Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, pretty much at any time. He's always online. I'm always online, trying, in and out. So, and of course, like I said, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com is the easiest way. And, we specialize in everything. When it comes to slings, we don't necessarily do big custom builds all the time, but on the regular basis, we just do, your everyday riders, street beaters, things of those. What's that?
Try me.
But again, we pretty much can, if you come in and you have it, what's our old slogan? If you dream it, we build it. Yeah. So, anything, any budget, you can work with it. We can work with any budget. So
I like that.
Nice.
And we take all forms of payment.
You're in South Florida, so be careful when you say that.
I said what I said. All forms of payment. We barter, we trade.
Like you said, it's South Florida. Hey, I have 2 dogs based off trade.
We got 2. Yes.
I have 6 total, but 2 of them
was because somebody couldn't pay their bill.
That's perfect.
Let me use my EBT card so that I can get some sound.
That's awesome.
But
But
yeah,
I know,
yes, Damon, bring that EBT, bro. 2 for 1, bro. Like, I'm from the hood, dog. Like, don't play with me.
Nah, they're gonna bring you some puff pass.
That's cool. I got a scale back in the back. Like, whatever. We're gonna get this done. Let's take over, y'all.
But yeah, definitely. Like you said, we're here to support the Sling community. Like we said, we've given some raffles out in the past, so we really enjoy the Slingshot community, and that's one of the reasons why we've been incorporating more and more into our events and making 2 specific events this year, which is the June event coming up this weekend, and then in September the 19th through the 22nd, we're doing the Fall Festival at Falcon's Fury. So we're making sure that we keep you guys in the mix, giving you your own day, just so we can have fun. And
nice. Are y'all gonna make the Memphis Madness event this year?
We're trying.
Okay.
We booked 10 shows this year, and every time I call them and I say, "Hey, just sending you this."
When's Memphis Madness?
October, I believe it's the 23rd.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't have anything.
Or August.
October?
August.
Yeah, we're free for the first couple. After this event, our summer's off, so I'm gonna drag them out. We had a great time last year, and so
This is gonna be my first Memphis Madness, but I hear.
Tell me how it is.
It's a lot of fun.
I'll see you there.
Oh yeah, it's a great show. We had a great time with Roderick and everybody, and like I said, that's how we all met in person. I know we knew each other kind of, in passing online and everything, but that's where we actually put, faces to names and everything. So
yeah, that's what's funny is like, you talk to everybody online, and it's that's the cool thing about Slingshot community, and Facebook makes the world smaller, but just getting out and about and seeing people that you talk to online or shit talk to online, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, they're in front of me.
Exactly.
I know we didn't necessarily. I know we're running a little short on time, which is fine. But one thing that Kim and I we say a lot, and because we do get to operate in separate worlds, and this ain't me just kissing the Slingshot community's ass because I'm here, but the Slingshot community is so much better than the biker community. Right. It's so like I've been to different platforms, different events, seen some of the same people, some new people. There's always somebody there with a cooler selling drinks out of it, which is
yeah.
I don't know where they make those drinks at.
Yeah.
But whatever. But I will say it is that more family atmosphere. It's actually where the motorcycle industry started, right? Because when we first started this motorcycle audio game, we were a very small computer. Yes, the pouches, Bumblebee. Very small community, and we just kind of, we all helped each other. We all grinded. We all just was having fun. If I can help, if I can tell you guys anything, man, try to stay as close to that as y'all possibly can. Don't get to where we are in the biker world where somebody's arguing with somebody every day. All day. Just keep it fun, man. And yes, we are spending sometimes way too much money on these machines. But just never lose sight that it's fun. And I know she's not here, but one of my favorite people in all of this is Sandy. But the San is like she makes me want to go to events just because she makes me laugh. So her kids. So but I love that whole event and what you guys got going on. So
yeah, that's what I tell. I preach it. I tell everybody. You got to have fun. It's stupid to take this shit so serious. And like I said, you could have so many people from all different walks of life that would never have a conversation on a daily basis, but now all of a sudden you have a Slingshot and there's something in common, and you don't have that in any other category. Even if you're in motorcycles or baggers, you have your. I'm assuming you're gonna have your old school Harley riders that ain't messing with the baggers.
Bro, you got guys that if you ain't got a black Harley, you don't have a motorcycle. What are you talking about? Like, that's red. That ain't Harley Davidson.
And then I ride into my pink and blue.
They never made no bikes that up. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like there's so much division in motorcycles, and there's divisions in, let's say, car audio. Yeah. You got people that mess with nothing but Jeeps, and then you got nothing but Hondas, and these people don't have a conversation, but they got so much in common. And the Slingshot totally brings everybody together under that roof. So if you got an all black Slingshot, you got a badass Slingshot. You got a pink and purple Slingshot, you got a badass Slingshot. Like it is its own thing, and that's what I like about it. And I keep, I try to keep preaching that, have fun, man. Everybody's got a badass machine. Just the shit don't matter. I don't have to like your rims because I don't like your rims. Like, it's okay, you don't have to like stupid TVs on your hood, Like,
I was gonna say, I heard you have a TV somewhere. That was a comment a little bit ago. I wanted to get to the TV thing. How big is your TV?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 50-inch TV. No, but it's that's what I
I thought
say.
you were gonna say like a 27 or something. Yeah, I don't know, 65. I don't know.
I don't even know where I have a picture of it, but yeah, you got to check it out. I totally redid the hood. It's a giant 50-inch screen in my hood, and it's like I said. And some people look at it and go, "That's stupid. As soon as it rains, you're gonna mess that up, dumbass." And I love reading the hate comments because I ride in the rain. My shit is called Rainmaker because it always rains if I'm driving it. So
I've learned two things. I don't have as much money as you, and I don't ever ride with you because I don't like getting wet. So, JT, we're not going to be friends.
Somebody literally said on here, every time you go somewhere, it rains. And now I'm starting to believe that this is all the theme.
JT, we can't be friends, buddy.
No, it's real. Like, I tell everybody, don't follow me. Like, if you see me go by, just be like, oh, shit, there goes JT. Like, don't be like, I'm going to ride with him. You're going to
go the other way.
Go the opposite.
We were coming back from Arkansas like a couple of weekends ago, and I left early, and I passed two other guys that left early too, and it started raining. I'm like, y'all should be out. I'm out. Like, and just y'all should have stayed in the hotel.
Literal rainmaker.
It happens. So, but that's why I say, like, everybody can, come around and get around something and get behind something that's fun, with the slingshot instead of being so divisive over dumb shit. Like, you don't have to, nothing else matters when you're hanging out with slingshot people talking slingshot shit,
And what King Lazy Lays just said, because it's relatively new, you're 100% right. But if you know that there are problems on the horizon, right? Do something different, right? I'll tell you, the bagger community, look, I used to talk to different shops every single day. And now we can't talk to each other because he's, they scared that I might steal a customer or whatever that looks like. They don't want to tell the secret. So at the end of the day, if you know that, hey, we don't want to be like the bagger world, then do something different. Keep what y'all got going. Have a great time. Drink the pouches, the Jello shots, whatever it looks like. Keep popping up the tents and the chairs and bringing the family and all that stuff. Like that stuff is infectious and it's made us want to do more things in the slingshot community. Trust me. Well, there are some people getting rich off shows. It ain't me, but it ain't me. I promise. But what I will say is that we don't do this for the money, right? We do it because we do truly enjoy being a part of the community and being able to showcase different things from different people. One of the things with our shows is you'll never see a Mavericks build win one of our shows. My customers hate it, right? I won't even allow our integrity, right, to be questioned of, hey, Maverick is hosting and one of his builds won and blah, 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 because I want other people to feel comfortable with coming to the show, hanging out, having a good time, and just being able to just be amongst people, like you said, that are all like-minded. There are a lot of things in this world that separate us, and this thing that we spend money on as a hobby should definitely bring us together. Yeah, no, man, you should put that in a quote. Like, that's nice. I mean, if you were smart, like if you was a good host, you would have ended on that. All right, guys, so we're going to talk to y'all later. And you should be like, on that note, we're done. We're done. Just saying. Perfect. Like, I wrapped it up. Yeah.
Oh, he kicked him out.
Wait, he said you right. I love to be in the background like
and we're off. Thanks, guys. But you're right. But well, man, we would definitely appreciate having you guys on. And I know, make sure you check out next weekend or next Sunday. I know we're going to have TJ and Rob with their new podcast, which everybody's got a podcast now. Slingshot Sound Spot is their show recap. So that's pretty awesome. They're going to be doing the Converse, Georgia recap. And I think they're doing another recap of another show. Is TJ in the comments right now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey TJ, can I come on y'all pod? This is my first time, and I'm having a great time.
He's enjoying himself. Yeah, so. He's like, this pod stuff.
You think I can come on?
It's kind of fun.
You were saying Maverick on when we had like our little 15-minute talk before the show. I thought I was going to be talking to Kim the most because you were over there
exactly right.
But you've taken over. I haven't. Look, the list of questions you answered without me even talking. So good job on that.
I'm gonna start a pod when I get time.
When the cameras go on, he flourishes.
And that's why, as with me and Ted, we first started talking about this. It's like every Monday we got to, put aside time for us or of our time to do this. And we're not getting paid for it, but it brings exposure to the community, and it's for everybody else. Like we're not gaining anything by talking to you guys. Like the community is gaining by talking to you guys, just seeing there's more people out there with the same ideas and the same mind frame and, want to experience the same fun and do the same things. And that's what I like about it. It's not, we're not all trying to get rich. I mean, it'd be nice, but that's not the real world. So
talking about that, let's stop promoting TJ and Rob's podcast because they're on here talking shit on the live.
Yeah, they're perfect.
Relax. Your podcast is not better than ours. Whatever. You know what? I'm gonna start a podcast.
I don't know.
By myself with like just ladies.
Hey, now I really have to get a swing.
Well,
all right, y'all. Hey, man, it has been a pleasure.
Oh yeah, now you're ready.
Oh, when she talking about spending money, it's time to go.
Every time I say something like that, then it's like, so I bought this thing.
Yeah.
And you have to build it.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't have the time.
But definitely, everybody, make sure you guys go like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That definitely is how to get our subscription up, and we appreciate that. I know we got some comments coming on through StreamYard and through YouTube, and Facebook is always our hottest ticket. Everybody's always commenting and watching those videos, but YouTube's where it's at. That's really what gets the most traction. When you search anything, it doesn't really pull up the Facebook link. It wants to pull up YouTube. So, definitely like and subscribe and share that as much as you can. And, we appreciate that. And so, but definitely we appreciate you guys coming on. Definitely it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to try to make, now what's the event you said, September?
Yeah, September 19th through the 22nd.
Okay. I might have to fly in and
oh my God, bro, like you that busy?
I'm gonna borrow Paula Slingshot, and that's gonna be perfect.
There you go. he's already just to let you know.
First, I have to
take it, and then I'll pick it up in October at the Dallas SS22 massive meetup. I'll pick it up from you.
I saw that Dallas is October what?
20.
I saw somebody put in the comments.
Yeah, the only thing with Dallas is it's Biketober.
Oh, I got something to do.
Something I booked them for again.
Yep.
But no, we definitely appreciate you guys having us on. It was a great time.
For sure, definitely. Thanks a lot. You guys, y'all have a good week, and hopefully we'll get to see you in September. Definitely. For sure. That's going to be my plan.
We look forward to it. If not, I'm showing up at your house.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
This was super fun.
Lots of fun.
And a lot of people left Facebook and are watching us here on YouTube, or they said the party's over here on YouTube. So yay, thanks for coming onto the YouTube page.
I know I'm not even on YouTube. I'm just looking at all the comments here that I'm seeing the comments pop up here. They're like, where are y'all at? What's going on?
I figured you were on Facebook, so I moved over to YouTube, but I'm kind of like, they're just like, Damien's like, oh, I got my, he's whatever. You can read the comments.
Yeah. So next week we've got Jarrell Armour with Armour Custom Works for June 10th. He's going to be on, and we're going to pick his brain and talk to him about his new shop, which I say new shop. He's been open about a year now in Jacksonville, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then person. Yay.
Yep, and then the following week we've got Pete with A&P Cycles, so we'll get to talk to him. And I believe the following week, which is the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken, we've got Johnathan Taylor with Flex Style Design. I said, nope, I can't shamelessly plug myself, so Ted's not having it. Damn, fucking Ted is great. He's like, nope. So, Ted, he's behind the scenes. He's not even going to jump in. He's just going to, nope. Well, this was fun, Paula. I appreciate you hosting with me because, sometimes I run out of questions, and I'm glad you were able to fill in, definitely.
No, but they were great. I mean, we had a whole bunch of questions that they just started answering without having to even ask. So they were great.
That's always fun.
But we are going to storm them. So any SoFlo slings, any South Florida slingshot people watching, we are going to pick a date and we're going to just go storm their shop and hang out with them for a little, see what they do and all that.
That's perfect. That's what it's about. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's good seeing you, Paula. Definitely, and we'll see you next time. I'm assuming Ted's gonna.